Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take another look here at CRV, see what's going on. This is a request from my community members. Thank you so much for the request. Greatly appreciate you. And ultimately, if you're not currently a community member, consider joining CryptoCache.tech as a site, link down below. And what that is essentially just an opportunity for you to become a better trader. I have a trading academy teaching you how to trade, community that helps you bounce ideas off others, and we have weekly roundtable discussions. And I also send out signals for every single trade that I take so you know how to structure your trades more effectively. It's kind of a win-win for everyone, and the return on investment is extremely high. So keep that in mind. Take a look at that in your own time. Looking here at CRV, we're going to look at the obvious and work our way down. So one thing it points out to me here just before looking at the moving averages is that we have 50 on the RSI working as a resistance. That is reflective of $2.80 on the Fibonacci retracement. So we should expect some turbulence or some resistance there. We may have already experienced that, but we'll look at a smaller time frame. Looking at the moving average though, this is something that's common in a lot of coins right now, where we have the 50 and the S and the 200 kind of intersecting in a downward fashion. Traditionally a death cross, don't worry about the term. I don't think there's much to it personally, but on the same accord, it's reflectant of Bitcoin and more relevant there. But the key here is just know that the 50-day SMA is working its way down. That is a notoriously resistance level. So we could experience some turbulence in the near future. So we might see somewhere between, 280 and 302 as a resistance zone, or just a place in which we need to consolidate further before we can leg up again. Good news is it should give us a higher low at that point, and that could essentially be what we need to leg up again. All right, so just kind of keep that in mind. That's roughly where we're at here for CRV so far in the 1 day. Looking at the 4 hour in between both moving averages, all well and good, except for the fact that 200 is of course a resistance level. We could experience, once again, that resistance between 280 and 302. So there's a few things factoring in right there at that range that are adverse, essentially holding the price action down. We're also overextended on the 4 hour too. So as well as it is that CRV has extremely jumped back, and we are making higher highs and higher lows, those are probably more important, more relevant. We cannot avoid the fact that it's overextended right now, and there's a strong likelihood we'll see a pullback. We hit a 9 plus 4, 5? Yeah, 5 candlesticks. So we're 20 hours into overtime with CRV. So I think a pullback is almost necessary. How far will it pull back? It's hard to say. We could essentially see a pullback down to 260 or possibly around 233. If we come down to 233, it wouldn't be terrible. It'd still be a higher low, and we'd have potential to turn back around and make a higher high from there. So I don't think this is all terrible and bad news. Good news is we got a nice 50-day SMA working its way up. By the time the price gets down there, we could essentially experience a bounce somewhere between, again, 230 and 260. But I think it's more likely that we're going to see the price action come back down versus continue up higher. Again, it's overextended, exhausted, and if you look at the RSI, we can also see the fact that it was overbought recently, and we got to respect the fact that that's back down now. It's nice that it's under 70. But that's going to be working as a resistance, and the likelihood of it coming back up right now without any consolidation sideways is very low. We want to see the price go sideways, kind of do its thing, and one of these 2 or 3 possible scenarios. Okay, that's actually a very good thing. Try not to concern yourself. If you have a position right now, consider taking some profits because it's overextended. The pullback is very high, but on the same accord, the inverse as well. Add to your position if you do not already have one, or you already have one and you just swing trading, or perhaps investment trading. All good things. I think CRV is looking positive in the short term. Just we need to calm down and relax a little bit. So let's go ahead and take a look here. 1 hour. Go ahead and call it a day after this. We'll look at TD sequential. We've gotten a lot of resets at 6. I see a lot of 6s here. So potential of a 6 hours worth of continuation of the downside is pretty high. We've got Ichimoku Cloud telling us we want to keep our position open. So by no means am I telling you to close this position. I would just say consider taking some profits at the very least. Okay. Once again, the likelihood of pullback is there, but the cloud is telling us we've got 3 out of 3 indications to keep our position open. So until you get the indication to not keep it open, I would say we're all good. But if the price doesn't increase from the current area that it's in right now within the next would be roughly about 10 hours. The next 10 hours, if we don't see the price action increase, and we could expect the lagging span to intersect with the price action, giving us a close signal. Conversion line might come in contact with the baseline by then, and then we'd only have one potential support, which is a cloud, and it does tend to work as a support level, so keep that in mind as well. There's definitely some consolation here. We're not in dire straits by any means, okay? And cryptocurrency has a tendency of doing crazy things that defy the laws of trading. And the laws of trading right now tell us that we are 36 hours into a bullish continuation type of pattern, and the likelihood of pullback is higher. So you do the math, you figure out what you want to do, add to your position by all means. I think CRV is still going to go higher than this. But could it go lower first? Yes, it probably will. Again, I'm expecting a pullback from Bitcoin in the near future as well, so that could also factor in too, but I would just be cautious and obviously careful with your investment here with CRV, because it has proven to do very well, but it's still not at its potential lowest point that it hit before. So the fact that it is making higher highs and higher lows on a larger time frame is extremely important. Okay, that is a very good sign. So that helps us a lot in the grand scheme of things, understanding that, hey, CRV came down to correct itself when Bitcoin hit almost the same price point as it did last summer. It's tremendously higher than the previous time frame. Okay, so 227 is much better than 120. It's almost 200% more, right? So CRV is doing well. Will it continue to do well? I believe so. It's just that we can probably expect a minor correction between now and then. I think the likelihood of it just pushing high from here is low. It could establish itself, separate itself from Bitcoin in that sense, right? And, its Bitcoin pairing could increase in value, and if that happens, then obviously it'll continue higher. Everything I just mentioned is pretty much null and void if it decides it wants to just kind of do its own thing. It's a good comparison is Luna. Right, we caught a good swing trade with Luna here recently, and I can tell you what, that's just a strong continuation. It's probably going to break 3 figures easy, right? 100 plus. CRV could do one of those as well. It's showing signs that it wants to, but it's not truly there yet. One thing I do see here that's potential, we do got a slight potential here for this pattern to break out as well. If we can break above that little trend line, we could be in pretty good shape too. Okay, so there's more positive than negative here. Just expect to pull back in the near future, and I think CRV is going to be probably a pretty good investment long term, big picture. We've actually swing traded CRV last year, as a matter of fact, and did very well with it. Caught this trend here back in October, and it was awesome. I think we took like somewhere in the range of 150% profit or something crazy. CRV has that potential. Okay, so just know, very good shape here, mostly positive. There's just a key level resistance zone from 280 to 302. So just be mindful of that. Okay. All right. Well, I hope this founds benefit. I hope this finds benefit to you, and I should learn how to speak more effectively. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll look forward to seeing you next video if you're not currently a community member. Link in the description below, CryptoCache.tech. I look forward to getting to know you better. Have yourself a great rest of your day.